following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's the music, movies, and shows you love.
As if we care.
And hate.
You ain't gonna like it none.
And love to hate.
I didn't expect that at all.
This is The Broken Remote.
Coming to you live on tape on this Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. The Broken Remote has come back around post-Oscars. And so here we sit with the question that everybody has, and that is, who really did fucking kill Gene Hackman?
That is, I thought it was Enora from the movie Enora because it won so many awards, but I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, by the way? I did not.
Did I watch the Oscars or Enora?
No, Enora in general. I've watched maybe 3 of the movies, I think, total.
I don't think so. I did think of myself as a complete and utter movie buff back in the day, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
I fall in the category with so many people now who watch the Oscars and basically just put their hands up because they're like, I don't know these fucking movies. I don't know what I'm supposed to get behind here. I don't watch any of these. I did not see Enora. I have not seen Wicked. I have not seen The Covenant. That was the religious one, right?
Yeah, that was the one with the guy that played Lord Voldemort. He apparently crushed it. My family saw it. They said it was great, but okay. I have not seen it.
Nor have I. I have not seen The Substance, which was the Demi Moore vehicle.
Mm-hmm. She got robbed. I haven't seen it either.
Everybody's crying about, I guess. Well, nobody's crying about it. It just, I guess that the girl that gave it to, I guess it was kind of a stretch, and she had not won anything up to that point, right?
Mm-hmm. So, Demi Moore, right? I don't think she's won anything.
Well, no, Demi Moore just won something. Did she win the SAG award? She won something for Best Actress.
Nobody cares about the SAG award.
Golden Globe, maybe, did she win? She won something that people kind of thought it was just going to go to her.
The SAG award sounds like Eric Cartman would give you sarcastically. Like, I don't want things.
Have a real fun time with the SAG award. Oh my god, you guys.
SAG award sounds gay.
Yeah,
I thought she won something that led people to believe that she was going to win it. Anyway, who gives a shit? She didn't win it, which is fine.
Spoiler alert, by the way. For what happened on Sunday.
She didn't win it. What was something?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, yes, which is a remake of the original Nosferatu. And 3 of those, I think, are available on Peacock, and I still haven't watched them, even though they're free.
Because everyone has a Peacock account, dude. Yeah, don't you just to watch reruns of The Office? Come on.
Well, I do have a Peacock account. I am not better than the next man. I am not above it all. I'm not too cool for it. But I subscribe basically to everything. There's not a goddamn subscription service I do not subscribe to. I am a sucker.
I'm a true American. I steal my Netflix from my family along with the Max account, and then I just somehow have Hulu from some friend of my girlfriend's. Like
that's the way to do
every other American.
That's the way to do it. Look, I pirated for decades. When Cody first came out, I was a Cody animal. There was a period, me and my wife did not go to the movies probably for whenever that Apple TV Gen 1 came out, that you were able to jailbreak and put Cody on. It probably was about
You're telling me about that at UBS, dude.
Yeah, it was probably about 4 or 5 years that we would just sit in the basement and just watch movies that were out in the theater. Some copies weren't that great, but we never.
I like going to the movies. See, ironically, you didn't go to the movies when probably it was still relatively cheap. Well, now you have to go there and you basically have to sign a waiver that puts your kidney in ice the moment you walk out of the theater.
It's very expensive, especially it's the food. It's all the food because everything is $10 a pop.
You think butter and popcorn is cheap, dude? Get the hell out of here! If you can't write out, if you don't have to write off a second mortgage when you write out, that's stupid.
Well, it also goes to concessions at any live event. Live events are the worst, and I would put movies now in that same ballpark because you go to, whether it's a movies or a concert or a sporting event or the theater, You're okay. Can I have a large soda? Let's not even knock out beer. You want a beer? Fine. It's going to be $15 to $20 per beer. You want a soda? It's $8 to $10. You want a hot dog? It's $6 to $7. It doesn't stop. So you go to the movie theaters. I think the large bucket of popcorn's $8, large soda's $8. I think it's $15, $17 for popcorn and a soda.
If you want a beer, you got to let them sleep with your wife. Just usual, typical prices in this type of economy, dude.
Well, you're lucky you don't have kids. You have a couple of kids to take to the movies. Oh, forget it. It's just
no. I had one. We had to give it up so I could see Captain America. I was very dedicated to seeing that movie.
There you go.
It'll be fine.
But yeah, it's very expensive. I do like to go see the movies as well as you do. It is expensive. I was not wasting any of my money on any of those Oscar things. I didn't even watch them for free though. So that's where I fall with the Oscars. Well, I still watch it because Conan was good.
Conan's great. He's the last real late night person that is decent at his job.
Yes. And does he do anything anymore? Because
I think he dropped it because he just realizes the format sucks. So he just does his podcast, or he'll do like one-off shows on Max or something.
Yeah. So my question about his podcast, which I used to listen to, and now I don't have room for it.
There's too many, dude.
Is his podcast still live, or is it repeats of his old podcast?
That is a great question. I have no idea. I just listened to a couple of the ones where he had celebrities. It was like Bill Burr, the guy that wrote with Norm Macdonald, because they had that whole bit about Jeffrey Epstein, which is phenomenal.
Oh, I don't think I know the bit.
So it was like Norm Macdonald's writing partner, and you can the guy has the exact same sense of humor as Norm.
Okay.
It's an amazing bit. He just goes in and he's like, now, I had a bunch of friends growing up in New York. I had some, you met a lot of famous people working on Saturday Night Live. I met this one guy, a really nice guy, Jeffrey Epstein. He's a really good friend of mine. What happened to him, right? You're like, what? What happened to Jeffrey Epstein? With the island? It's like, no. I'm friends with Jeffrey Epstein, the financier with the island. No, so we must be talking about different. I'm not doing it justice. You got to listen to it. Or I'm just going to butcher it. It goes for 8 minutes, dude. It's so long where he just pretends to not know who this guy is.
I will listen to it. Speaking of comedians and funny lines, there was, what's the podcast that Mark Norman does with, it's not Ari
I know
Shaffir.
What you're talking about. It's him and that's Sam Morril.
Tuesdays with... Yeah, Sam Morril. That's who it is. Not Ari Shaffir. It's Sam Morril. Tuesdays with Maury or something, or not Tuesday. That was a book.
Oh, no idea.
Anyway, they were sitting, and there was a clip that I saw they're watching. It might be old because they were watching video of the LA fires, and they were showing somebody filming the fires in their backyard from inside. It's a clip that everybody's seen. And then Norman goes, "Oh, that's what gay people see when they go to hell." And it was just like, what? No, jeez. And it was very funny. I forget who. Somebody was on the couch, and they're like, "Oh." He just
says no. He says no filter.
Zero at all. But
yeah,
I mean,
him and Shane Gillis are the only reason.
If you made jokes like that, I mean, it's fucking funny. If you get offended, sorry.
I know we're talking about the Oscars, but I am so obsessed with just how. I think all women, when they hear that a guy listens to Joe Rogan, the eye roll that you see incoming is just so incredibly intense. Oh my God.
I think it's with everybody. But some of it, I'm getting to the point that I'm thinking some of it's pretty justified.
I used to be like, hey, it's not that bad. But now I'm the same way where I'm just like, it's kind of like he's got to stop or he needs to slow down because this is ridiculous.
A little bit. He can't be everything to all people. Well, let's do a shift. So before we get to Rogan, because we'll just do podcast hosts, and that's how we'll transition it. Back to Conan. Conan was great as a host, and he was great as a Tonight Show host. Got completely screwed by Jay Leno. Went over to
wait, something happened with him and Jay Leno? What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then went to TNT, had a successful little run there, and I think he just kind of stopped it. He did the podcast, and the podcasts are good too. But he really has kind of fallen off the map. It was a weird weird hiring to put him as the host, I thought. But it worked out phenomenally. And now he'll do that for the next couple of years.
he's just Jimmy Kimmel, but like universally liked. I feel like everything you hear about Conan is just like, he's a swell guy. He's a nice dude.
Well,
like everyone likes him. He's genuinely funny. Jimmy Kimmel just kind of seems like a schmarmy asshole. And Jimmy Fallon seems like he's always like 6 inches deep in some bottle. Well, 6 fingers deep in something.
True. To Conan's credit, I think what does him justice is when you hear him do his shows and his comedy, he's probably the most like Carson in the sense that he really isn't political. Like, he's just a hang guy, right? But he's down with structure. So he does his shows and he understands structures, and I go from one to the next. But he doesn't really affiliate. Kimmel is left, and Colbert is left, and
Colbert.
I mean, you go down through, and Jimmy Fallon is just kind of drunk, so he's not on either side.
Yeah,
but,
he's having the best time,
right? I mean, he's just wasted all the time.
He's gonna wake up one day. He's gonna be more surprised than anybody that he was actually on the Today Show. He still thinks that he's on SNL right now, but he's just gonna wake up one day in a bit of a shock.
And he's not good because
he does a lot of.
Did we talk about the SNL 50 or the SNL concert?
We talked about it briefly, I think, but I don't think we got too into it. I mean, okay, full disclosure, I liked the medley with the Lonely Island stuff. That was the best thing, but it also made me realize
the New York one. Oh no! Yes, I know the medley. Yeah. When they did all the songs, right?
That also made me realize like the most like key thing to come out of SNL probably in the last 20 years feels like the Lonely Island material. Like, yes, they've had individual actors and bits that were great, but that was probably the biggest thing that anyone has added onto their show.
It's an institution for sure, but I don't know if it's funny anymore. And I used to love SNL, and I watch it still. We'll get to Gillis because he was on this week, so it was a really popular episode. But the jokes just, I've lost it on a lot of them. It really depends now on the host, because I think the hosts that can write their own shit. And so those sketches end up being really different than episodes where there's just some random celebrity and all the writers are the writers. Now, whether or not that's different or not, but, when Chappelle was on, the writing I felt was different. When Gillis was on, the writing I thought was different. When Bergetzi was on, it was different. And then when you just have random famous person, it's kind of like, shit, this is the SNL I don't like.
I mean, it's the one thing you hear about that, like SNL do, is like the whole entire writer's den is just this den of snakes. It's like all these like Nepo babies of these like high-powered lawyers and doctors and bankers in New York City who had like 5 kids, and their third kid who's like, Dad, I want to be a comedian. He's like, no son of mine is doing stand-up in some bar. You're going right to SNL and become a writer.
That is the trend. I mean, the trend now and why everybody hates Nepo babies is because it's the same thing as, if you wanted to make it a larger conversation, is the complaints about DEI, right? Is that it's not merit-based. So whether it's because it's a Nepo or a diversity or like whatever the fuck it is, we are entering a big era of it's not organic anymore, right? Which is, I would argue, which is why what you see, a lot of it sucks. Music, movies, TV, et cetera, et cetera. But before we get too lost, but back to this started with Fallon. Fallon, when he did those SNL things, or specifically the SNL concert, I didn't think he was good. I didn't think he was good at all. He just goes, when he had a riff, there was a part where he had a riff, and he just walked around stage, and he was like, hey, Chevy Chase, how are you, man? You started everything. Hey. Oh, hey, what's up, Andy Samberg? I see you over there. And then he just called people out by his names. And it was like, you're not fucking riffing. You're not stretching. Yeah. You're just pointing at people, calling them their names. I could do that.
That's the thing, dude, about Conan at the Oscars, is he did that with Andy Sandler, or Adam Sandler, damn. And they did you see that?
I did. I was going to bring it up, I was going to bring it up before, and I was going to bring it up again. So continue.
So good. He's like, because Conan just points. I was like, "Are you serious? Point to Adam Sandler right now." And then it's just Adam Sandler wearing what Adam Sandler wears, which is full like indigo or light periwinkle blue basketball gear in the middle of the Oscars. It's like, what? What's
shorts
wrong?
and a hoodie. And I wanted it. I'll say it now. I cannot fucking believe. I mean, I can, but I can't. That 30 years later, some fucking random guy that was on SNL made a career and $500 million just going, and pointing all around. Adam Sandler, and I liked his first couple of movies, is also not funny. He is not funny. I have
Did
watched.
you watch Uncut Gems?
That, but it wasn't funny. I watched half of it.
No, but what I'm saying with that one is I felt the same way about him. And then at some certain point, it just crossed the line where I'm like, okay, so clearly he is a man of immense acting talent. And he doesn't care at all.
Oh, he definitely doesn't care. He does not give a shit about anybody, right?
And the fact that like there was some point I'm like, this guy literally gets all of his friends together and just was like, hey, I'm going to pay all of us like $10 million to make this stupid movie that's going to just take off in China. And we're going to spend the summer together. And that's, we're going to get paid for it. And that's my job.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to be his friend.
There's something about it I just respect the fuck out of. I don't know. It just has completely crossed a new line for me now where I went from like, he's not funny too. Damn. That's kind of cool.
He's a cool guy. I don't know. I would love to be his friend. I cannot stand anything he makes. It just I can watch the first stuff. Yeah, the Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. Although Billy Madison probably hasn't aged well. Not Billy Madison. Billy Madison, right? Happy Gilmore's the second one.
Waterboy, Happy Gilmore, yeah.
The Waterboy. While some people thought that one was a stretch, I kind of enjoyed that one. I
like that one.
But I mean, I don't know. There are two movies that are on all the time: is Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2, and I can't do it. Every time
I did not realize how well those movies did until a few years ago. They apparently crushed
unbelievable.
It.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were that good.
And then they clocked in like 200 million or something like that. It was something ridiculous, or 150,
it's like
200.
The safest comedy you can do, and apparently, dude, just internationally, it kills. He just rakes with them.
Every time I watch, my wife
rakes in so much money that he can wear basketball shorts to the Oscars. And maybe that was a bit, but part of me likes to think he's like, I'm just going to go here because I'm like attached to some movie. And it's basically the Trey Parker, Matt Stone, where they just wore those dresses to the Oscars while high on acid.
That's right.
Such a magical night.
Did you see, by the way, since we're talking about Trey Parker and Stone, the clip I showed you or sent you of who is Stone doing, or no, it was Parker doing the Asian guys behind the scenes?
I've watched that a million times before he said it to me. No, I love that one.
I was in bed. My kid wanted to go to bed, and I put him to sleep. And then I'm just sitting there watching because I'm not tired. And I was laughing. I was surprised I didn't wake him up because I was just laughing my ass off in his bed out loud.
Oh, it's gonna be a ride.
Do you want the cuttlefish with the asparagus? Or I forgot what
the vanilla paste.
the vanilla paste, yeah. Do you want the vanilla paste or the cuttlefish with the asparagus?
The cuttlefish is not sitting well.
The funniest part about that and why I couldn't stop laughing, just watching him, he does the face. He tries to do in his mind what is like an Asian face as he's doing the fucking voiceover.
The fact he has to like him and Matt Stone just lean away from the mics because they're just dying laughing in the middle of the take.
Dude, it's like, so funny.
Oh no, Karen. It's gonna be a ride.
He like tries to squint his eyes. It's
so
100% offensive and also funny as fuck. And they just get away with it because the point is just to make a joke, right? It's just to make a joke. And yes, it'll offend somebody, but it offends everybody. So fuck it.
Animated. It's also, I think, because it's animated too. Somehow that just gives them like an extra.
It definitely does. But then when you watch these behind the scenes, like I don't know. They're they're bulletproof, man. They are Teflon, dude. You can't touch them. Because if you could, you would watch these behind the video things and you'd be like, oh, we got to fucking cancel them.
Right? Them now. Yeah, no, it's, they're the best. But I don't know, but like what we were saying before, like, dude, Conan O'Brien just has the better overall just repartee with people.
Yes, as a
compared
host.
to Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Kimmel is just, some people really like him, but I kind of think he's just a jerk. Everything I see about him, he just looks like this smarmy jagoff.
I think they're all
That's my
jerks.
biggest thing.
I
Conan
do.
seems chill. Conan seems chill. I will defend.
Conan seems very. I actually went to go see him live when he had his NBC show, and I got.
Oh, the Tonight Show. Is he still on that? Yeah.
No. NBC when he used to do the later one.
No. The Tonight Show. Yeah. The one he got after Jimmy.
Well, what was his show when he called the one that he used to do after Leno?
He did the late show.
He did the late
then
show.
Jimmy
Okay.
Fallon took over when he was supposed to get the Tonight Show.
Right.
And then whoops.
And then
did something go awry?
He got completely railroaded and flushed. So I went to go see Conan.
What a great guy Jay Leno is.
At the Late Show, and I got called out. They do this thing before the show starts, and he comes out and he just starts riffing, and he called on certain people. And I was not trying to advertise for it. I wasn't trying to talk up. I just randomly got pointed at, and along with these 5 other people, and they were like, they played music. They were like, dance in the stairwell, not in the like wherever, the walkway that you go up to the stand. So I start dancing, and I don't know what to do, and I did this stupid. It looked like an Indian dance.
I was gonna say like a chimp scratching himself, but
dude,
yeah.
And fucking Conan stopped everybody. And then he was like, except for you, just keep doing whatever you're doing right now, please. And so that I had to fucking dance in front of the whole goddamn crowd. God, that was funny as fuck. Embarrassed for a hot 5 seconds. And then he was like, are you doing an Indian rain dance? What the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, fuck. Anyway, very funny. But Conan is a good dude. I wish he was still doing stuff. I guess he's still making content, but I just wish he was
has more money than God.
I just wish he was in a more prominent position. But it is kind of a dead format, right? All those late night talk shows, nobody needs.
Yeah, I wish he was still doing stuff, but dude, just so many of those guys that I liked at some point, like Stephen Colbert, are just shells of their former self at like the height of their fame. Like Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, well, they're all affiliated now with a political stance of some sort.
It's bananas. It's crazy, like to the level it's gotten.
But
Stephen Colbert will always be the biggest letdown to me.
It really is everybody now, right? Because I'm a big sports guy. I used to watch a lot of sports content. I listen to sports podcasts now more than anything. I don't really listen to sports radio anymore. I used to listen to that all day long. And the sports personalities, especially like across ESPN, everybody's leaving sports. Like sports broadcasting is done. Forget it. It's not going to exist, down the future at some point. Number one, because kids don't watch fucking sports anymore. They just don't. And number two,
well, they bet on sports. I mean, I was going to say
they bet on sports, but betting on sports, and they want to bet on sports and then start their own podcast. They don't want to watch ESPN anymore. Not to mention that ESPN sucks. But what's crazy is that
okay, I never thought of that. I was like wondering why it was dying. Okay, everyone's doing what we're doing. Yeah, everyone's being a big slow.
Well, they do that, and then the people that ESPN hires, like, they're just not talented, dude. Like, you watch it and you sit there just pleading, please do not put on another schmuck on ES. Oh, there's another schmuck. God, everybody that gets fired, they replace him with some fucking.
It's like that's like fourth rate, dude.
Yeah, it's just
top 3 doing their own thing.
And after a while, as a sports fan, you're like, this is what you're gonna give me. You're gonna give me this shit. Like, sorry, but all the good guys now, they're just kind of like, look, it's drying up. There's no juice. Kids don't watch sports. Like, we're not going to be making money like this anymore. But you know what everybody does talk about? Fucking politics. And so now they're all doing politics. They're all going to politics. Comedians, sports personalities, everybody and their brother fucking wants to get into politics now. Because politics pays bank.
It's all that anger stuff, dude. The more angry people get, the more likely they are going to listen.
Yeah, and now all political talk is just the sports radio talk from the 90s. That's what it is. It's like two heads, and then they just go back and forth. And I mean, look, watch CNN. They always have that blonde-haired guy. I think his name is Scott something. He's the
Scotsman from Scottsdale, Arizona.
I forgot what his name is, but he's Scott Jennings. No, I don't know. Whatever his name is, but he's the right voice. And then there's just one right voice, him. And so everybody does left, and then he does right. And then you go to Fox, and then they always have one designated lefty, and it's just kind of like
one hot blonde. It's always a hot fake blonde.
It's just the
on the show.
same fucking formula that's
Megyn
been done
Kelly
everywhere. Megyn Kelly, I'll tell you what, man. Woo-hoo-hoo, I am a fan. And I hated her back on Fox, and now as an independent, I'm like, yeah, she's got this little potty mouth. She's dirty. I like it. And she's making a shit ton of money.
Now, yeah.
She's making a ton of money.
Oh yeah, no, she is reeling it in. She's probably. I mean, take that NBC. Remember they hired her, and then they're like, actually, we don't want you anymore because
dude, I think she's still getting paid.
Is she really?
I think so.
Honestly,
I think that contract is not done yet.
God bless you. I mean, if they're going to show like another like $20 million to Rachel Maddow because they're just hemorrhaging numbers that bad, maybe they deserve to at that point.
Well, but that's the and then you see MSNBC just firing all these people because they're just they're not collecting views, and so they're not working for advertisers and not pulling revenue for the networks. I just don't know.
Well, it's like the Oscars, dude. Now they're praying to God every Oscars that Will Smith's going to slap the shit out of somebody, so people start again.
Well, that's the thing. It just feels like nobody's making money, but everybody's making money. And I don't understand how that works.
Cryptocurrency. That's how.
With the exception of the NFL, viewership numbers for everything are going in the toilet. Whether it's the Oscars or the SAG Awards or I don't know. I just insert whatever content here. The NFL is the only thing that continues to see numbers that are going up. And so I just don't know, with the numbers going down, how does everybody get paid?
Well, last year,
Beast.
All the movies at the Oscars last year were like movies people had seen, if I'm being honest. And then this year was just like Anora, like all the movies that were just like, and in this movie, it's about a Holocaust survivor who comes out as trans and has to make their way through Lower Detroit as they fall in love with a stripper who has AIDS while also realizing that maybe their father's never coming back. Like that's every single Oscar movie that I've ever heard about and basically came out this year.
And we call that The Weave. I call that The Weave.
The Weave. That's the name of your movie.
We are back to where we started with the Oscars, yes. I don't know. The Anora bullshit, I don't know. I don't understand it. It's a musical. We talked about that. There was that one song that I think we went and played on
speaking
the
of
show.
Song, I'm not sure if you pay attention because I don't think you watched Amelia Perez, which good for you. The song that got best original score or best original song, like, okay, if you've ever had I'm not sure if we can play this on here. Can you look up El Mal from Amelia Perez?
El Mal.
It is one of the worst songs. It is one of the worst songs from that awful movie. That won an Oscar. Like Zoe Saldana winning Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, she was Amelia Perez, right?
No. Amelia Perez was the trans person who turns out to be a little
but wasn't
little naughty on
Zoe,
Twitter.
Yeah, I know she was. But wasn't Zoe Zalando? She was from that movie though.
She was the main character, which is why I was like, why is she the Best Supporting character? But okay. But yeah, she won. She's a good actress. I just don't think she needed to win for this movie. I like her and everything else I see.
I mean, I just call her Gamora every time I see her.
Because she is. There you go. Yeah.
She's Gamora.
I mean, she played a blue alien. Now she's a green alien. I expect to a blue alien. Every other movie.
What was the music number? El Mal.
El Mal. ELMAL.
What was this?
It was bad. It is. How do I describe this scene? So, like in this scene, Amelia Perez. Quick disclaimer, or just quick run through about a Mexican drug lord who realizes he's transgender and transitions and then tries to make amends for his faults by now in his new identity, trying to help people that were formerly affected by drug cartels, which, he was kind of originally the bad person there. This song is about like the hypocrisy of the Mexican government and like the billionaires in Mexico.
You lost me already. I'm never watching this movie.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. See how confusing and dumb this is? The movie doesn't know what it is. At some points they want it to be a comedy. At some point they... You can keep the audio quality the same as it is right now that I'm hearing. That's basically as bad as that.
She's like dancing in a red jacket.
Like time is frozen or something. It's a bad song, and somehow that won. You could have taken. You could have used AI. You could have used AI to do that, and it would have been fine.
Yeah,
I did not watch the new Moana 2. That probably should have won. I'm assuming whatever song they had there, whatever dumb pop song.
The Moana 2 songs were terrible. Moana 2
so
was not. Yeah, I saw it with the kids, and it was nothing in it was catchy at all.
No Lin-Manuel Miranda this time.
No. Back to Oscars. I don't know. We talked about how none of the movies were super popular, and then while I watched the Oscars, I also still didn't give a shit. I really, Conan was the only thing that kept the whole thing going for me.
But that feels like most Oscars though, dude. Most Oscars just like, who's the host? Do I like him? Do I not like him? What's their funny joke? Oh, he got slapped by Will Smith. Cool, and that's pretty much.
I mean, the slap by Will Smith really was awesome. In hindsight, it's even better than it was at the time.
Had some gravitas, dude. I listened to like just reviews and people talking about it for like a week straight after that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It really was great. At this point, you're never going to top that.
My wife's name out your fucking mouth.
And then he just fucking went up there and slapped him.
Yeah, everyone just goes together and be like,
more or less ended his career. I mean, his career was kind of done anyway, to be honest.
He got his Oscar. He cried on stage. He'll be in the bad boy corner for a couple of years. I think it's more just sad because everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you are being like mentally and emotionally just beaten down by this bitch, huh? She's atrocious."
They're both atrocious. Another one of these Hollywood pre-made couples, and the whole thing was fucking bullshit. He was never good anyway. He was good in certain things, but I mean,
he had two characters he could be in a movie.
Yes,
he could either be Will Smith from the
fucking facts, bro.
Yeah, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or he could be the I Am Legend Will Smith, where he's way too serious.
Right. He was the young, goofy Samuel L. Jackson, right? And when I say Samuel L. Jackson, I just mean black actor.
I mean, he was basically The Rock 15 years before The Rock became what he is now.
Right. So it's just stupid that he got to where he was. But he did it. He did it well. He was able to pull it off, made a ton of money, and
had a couple of very interesting children who are great and not Nepo babies. Back to that point as well. Look at us weaving around. We are weaving this podcast.
Like I said, we call it the weave.
We like a wicker basket.
And then we bring it back, and we end up right where we started.
What was good, though, the Oscars, like we can jump off this topic, but we watched that movie Flow. It won like Best Animated Picture.
No, I did not watch that.
That was a good fucking movie. I'm glad that one. I saw a lot of those ones this year, but that one was pretty fucking solid. It was made by like some guy from Latvia for like $4 million total. It looks amazing, and you're like, he did this with $4 million. What the fuck are you idiots spending $200 million minimum on Captain America for? And it looks as bad as it does. This guy spent $4 million, and it looks amazing.
Again, the problem with Hollywood, the problem with probably a lot of entertainment regardless, is structure. The digital era came through and just blew shit up. And they really haven't figured out a good way to put it together again. And I think that entertainment on a whole was always filled by young kids with new ideas that came out of nowhere, and just, your Kevin Smiths, your Metallicas, even though Metallica was kind of, it was funded by a kind of a not a Nepo baby, but somebody who had money. But, your Nirvanas and the whole grunge movement out of Seattle.
Whatever happened to Kurt Cobain?
Rap music, and it all came from people that just weren't wealthy and established. Not that it always happened that way, but that's where you always got the movements from. And now you listen to this, and it's Eugene Levy and his son Daniel, or David Daniel.
Daniel.
They make Schitt's Creek awesome, but Daniel Levy is fucking Eugene Levy's kid. That's how they got it.
I mean, he looks exactly like him. He's just gay.
Right.
He looks exactly like him.
And so it was a good show, and they ended it great, but like. It gets made because of Eugene Levy, and now Daniel Levy is, now he's got his own fucking project.
Household name, yeah.
It's just, one thing after another. Like Ice Cube's kid, O'Shea, or what the hell's, is it O'Shea Jackson Jr.? I forgot. But anyway, Ice Cube's kid is a pretty cool fucking actor. I like stuff that he's in. But again, without Ice Cube, he's not there. That spot goes to somewhere else. And that's just the time that we live in. But
this episode's brought to you by nepotism in the Oscars. Thank you for tuning in.
Here's the full list of not nominees. We won't go through the whole thing, but I mean, if you just want to go through the movies, come on. I'm on the post here, and now it's okay. So the Honora. What was Honora's point? I don't even know what Honora was.
Some guy falls in love with a stripper, is my understanding of the entire plot of that movie.
Honora was the one that they kept thanking the working industry, right?
I think so, yeah. And then, like every movie, the Oscars
basically kept
checked
thanking
off
prostitutes.
like one of the. Yeah, they're like, thank you so much for getting this movie made. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff out of you from the background of filming this movie.
I remember there was certain clips that I wanted to save.
A lot of research was done in Las Vegas for filming this movie. Trust me.
There was drops I wanted to take off the Oscars. One of which was one of the Honora people got up there and just said, "I'd like to thank the working girl industry," or something to that effect. And I was like, I just wanted to have that just to hit that whenever I felt like it. Honora, A Complete Unknown, which is unknown by me. I don't even know what that is.
That was the Bob Dylan movie with Timothy Chalamet, Bing Bong.
Which, fine, no interest. The Substance, which Demi Moore, we talked about that. I guess, like, there's something in it where people
really
out
like
of her
that
skin
one.
and shit. I don't
know. I've seen some stuff. It looks creepy as hell. No,
I guess it's a horror movie. I don't know what it is. The Brutalist, which was
Holocaust
the guy
movie.
that won.
It's basically The Pianist all over again, which is a movie Adrian Brody made 20 years ago that won an Oscar, and apparently it's the same thing again.
Right, and Brody got the Oscar here for makeup.
He seems like a pretty weird dude. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. They put him in so many different genres. He really is. I've seen him in action. I've seen him in sci-fi.
Fun fact, he's not allowed back on the set of SNL. Apparently,
really?
Lorne Michaels fucking hates him. Yeah.
Well, I'd love to know why he got kicked off because.
Oh, I know. No, it's because he kept trying to improv. Apparently.
And he didn't stick to the script.
They're like, you're not good at it. Please stop. He's like, no, I got this. And they're like, dude.
Yeah, that's not the place to go on a limb. Cypress Hill also banned from SNL, but they were banned because they decided to smoke weed on stage back in '92 or whenever they were there.
Ooh.
They were told not to, and then they lit up anyway. Good for Cypress Hill. The Brutalist, Wicked, which we all know about. Dude, those two girls, they're too weird. Ariana Grande and the Black Broad.
They were really good in the movie, and I totally. So my sister's point about it was there are like these factory farm movies where no one gives a fuck. It is just them making it's like Marvel, where it's just like they're just plopping this gray sludge on a conveyor belt and they spray paint it. There's just no passion there whatsoever. And then there's the inverse where they're too passionate, and that's the Wicked Girls. And it gets weird, but I would rather have what the Wicked Girls have going on than this here is project number X4C198, also known as Captain America 4, coming off the conveyor belt. Please stand aside.
It's a fair point, and they definitely are too much the other way. However,
yes,
it's way too much for me. I cannot take either of them. I can't. I can't.
Listen, it's Ariana Grande's fault that we have Pete Davidson constantly put into our lives, even though he seems kind of chill.
I'm tired of Pete Davidson, too.
She also totally, I mean, the funny part for that, I mean, you heard the drama that happened on the set of Wicked?
No, not at all.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
I've invested none of my life force energy into Wicked.
I didn't know this either until my sister was telling me. So one of the guys who's like he's going to be a bigger character in the second part, I guess. But he's like he's the guy who becomes the Tin Man in the play or whatever. He's like the little nerd munchkin guy. He played SpongeBob SquarePants in some musical.
Okay.
She fucked him on set. Like they just started dating like out of nowhere on the set. He had like a 3-month old kid at home and was married to his high school sweetheart for the last like 10 years. Ariana Grande just comes and like, oh, I'll have some of that. I'll have some of that. I'll have that.
Really?
And then she just home wrecks, came in like a wrecking ball, dude.
No way. I did not hear that story.
What
Ariana Grande of all people, I don't find her attractive, but that's just me.
Well, that's also because she's literally the size of a football. Like,
yeah, now
standing
she's
on its
lost
foot
all
there,
kinds
yeah.
of crazy weight. Now she looks just fucking stupid.
Dude, she literally, I mean, she doesn't have to travel by car or plane. She can just grab a sheet, hold it behind her, and the wind will carry her off wherever they need it to go.
It's true.
You know, still talented in the movie, but, you know, definitely with you there on all those facts.
Yeah, and Wicked was that movie. Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, and The Nickel Boys. Those were the best those were the best movie, the best pictures.
Dune was great. Love Dune.
Yeah, that was one of those throw in there because remember this used to be 5 pictures deep, and then they extended it to 10.
I feel like they threw Dune in there because you saw did you see like the headlines that were coming up with the guys that actually vote for the Oscars?
No.
It's just like it's this like it's my grandfather's grandfather. Apparently, it's like speaking of nepo babies. Well, they originate from somewhere. It's the loins of the people that vote for the Oscars. And they're just like the most old, like curmudgeon-y, this is what the people want. I don't care what the public likes. So they're like, I'm not gonna like. Two of the guys that voted on Best Picture apparently are like, why would I watch Dune 2? Like, I didn't like the first one. I'm not gonna watch the second one. And you go,
I could see it.
It's your job. Like, isn't this your only job is to watch all these movies? Like, people everywhere do this.
Right.
And you can't do that. And they're just.
And now they have all weird requirements that go into it. People were, I did not see, and I will not watch that Reagan movie because.
That's so Raven. Yeah.
I've read enough. I read enough stories or reviews about it that it really does kind of suck, regardless of what the fucking Trump,
Reagan, like Reagan,
the
like
Trumpers,
the one with
yeah,
Daniel Quaid,
Dennis Quaid, yeah. Because like all the political right and everybody's, this is so great because Reagan. I don't know anything about presidents. What makes him good or not, but
yeah,
Reagan is like every right's Jesus Christ. He was like the greatest thing that ever lived. So
I mean, he just made it so that it was great to be rich in the country, and then basically kind of set the stage for where we're at today economically. But we don't have to get into that,
right? So. But anyway, Reagan came out, and I guess it didn't check the boxes on diversity, so it didn't get nominated. People were all bent out of shape, and I was like, it shouldn't have got nominated anyway. So who gives a fuck? But I mean, the fact that they even have prerequisites for being nominated, as Best Picture, I don't know if it applies to actors and actresses. Maybe it does, but the whole thing is just ridiculous. Just make a fucking movie. Do it with whoever you want to. It's the same argument we've been talking about forever about all these movies. Like, it doesn't matter what it's made out of. It's a good story. But if it's a shitty story, then you can chop up all this other stuff, and it just gives fuel to the fire that, why did it suck? Because you guys are too fixated on making sure that you had one Chinese actress and one black actor and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
it's just weird. It's just like the whole thing just feels like this big sham of these just ultra stupidly wealthy people that have not had to shop for their own groceries in over like 40 years. And now they're the ones like, no, we know what's going on here. This is what we're going to vote for today. See? That's
true that. I'll extrapolate that to just the show in general. This was one of the first years I was watching it, and I really sat there in my head saying, fuck these guys. Like, why do I give a fuck about these people standing up there? There was one, I don't know if it was an actress or a play. It was a heavier set black girl. I guess she's an actress of some site, but she was up there, and I think she was calling out all the best actress nominees. And everyone, she was just like, you are a queen. You are so good at what you do. You make all of our lives better. To every single one. I'm like, they're fucking actors. Like, no offense, but they're just
No, they
memorizing
sacrifice
lines.
They have to make
fuck?
sure they eat certain portions to stay in shape, Rich. Do you think it's easy for someone to drive to pick them up to go to their trailer so they can work in air-conditioned experiences?
Hey, look, there are some actors and actresses that are head and shoulders above all the other ones, right? De Niro in his prime, Nicholson basically forever. You want to do, he never won anything, but DiCaprio I think is pretty good. And you go down the
He
line.
won one. He finally won one after the Revenant. They tortured him into winning one.
I have the Departed on in the background as we were talking, so those two popped up. But there are people that are by far better actors and actresses than others. However, on a whole, I don't know if it's really that hard of a fucking industry. I mean, it's probably harder to break into it than it is to do.
Yes. Yeah, the
right?
hardest part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we can jump into White Lotus then, because I know you want to talk about that, or we mentioned it briefly. But like my girlfriend was telling me Patrick Schwarzenegger,
yes,
who's
naked in episode 1.
But didn't need to see that. Handsome guy, no doubt. But apparently he made some comment, and I've not verified this at all, so I could be talking on my ass. But he made some comment where he's like, I am not a Nepo baby. And it's just like, listen. He's like, I'm not a Nepo baby. I took 10 years of acting classes to get where I'm at. And it's just like, buddy. And once again, I'm not sure if this is true, so I could be talking my ass. This is all being made up. You are not only a Schwarzenegger, and your dad, I will give full credit, because that man, like the Bill Burr bit about gold digging whores. Have you heard that, where he goes off at Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, I have not.
He was just like, how dare you besmirch this great man? How many of the rest of you could go to a different country, learn their language, get famous for lifting weights, star in movies, and fuck their royalty? How many of you could do that and then get elected to public office? Fucking his maid in his own bed? That's a layup. It's so all
Burn is prime.
All the respect in the world to Mr. Schwarzenegger. Your son seems like a nice kid. Not only is he a Schwarzenegger, he's also a Kennedy. So like,
is he really? Oh yeah, because
Schwarzenegger married a Kennedy, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, and by the way, his sister is married to Chris Pratt. So you have a Pratt, Kennedy, Schwarzenegger.
Oh, is that what Pratt is married to one?
Yeah, Pratt's married to his sister. Yeah.
Again,
that is going to be a kid that is literally made of gold, dude.
It is few and far between that you find famous people and they married regular people, or they just came through randomly. Like, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Anna Faris did divorce him, and then his rebound was Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, which, like,
pow,
nice
Take
move.
It.
That is Anna Faris is really funny, but damn, dude.
There you go. It's called winning. So
Tiger
much
ball.
winning. We're going to be so tired of winning.
So tired of winning.
So tired of winning. But yet, White Lotus, because I think we didn't talk about it last time because you hadn't seen it yet, right?
I'm all caught up on episode 3 now.
I think I'm halfway through 3. I had a little too much to party with on Sunday trying to watch it with the wife, and then I passed out on the couch. So, but I mean, it's a slow burn.
Yes, that is what me and my girlfriend were saying.
Very
slow. Very slow. I mean, it's clearly going to heat up based on how the first episode began.
I understand the going back in time and leading back up to the moment that you broke. It's a structure that's used all over the place in TV.
I got a theory about who the shooter was. I'm not sure if I should say my theory at all, or if we want to say that.
We don't even know about the shooting yet, right?
We know someone's shooting. I'm assuming it's like
that's it.
My guess is like my assumption is the security guard guy. He takes a lot of like verbal beatings this episode, and is probably going to in the next episode as well. My guess is he snaps. That's my thought.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to have a gun,
or he's a
right?
hero, or he'll be a hero. He'll probably be a hero. That's probably the better arc for him overall than him losing his mind.
Well, you have to have a gun, so you would probably try to eliminate all of the guests because nobody could come in with a gun. Right. White Lotus has always been entertaining. I wasn't a super fan of the second season, but it's a little too slow for me right now. I needed to pick up because it's almost like fast forward mode, on Max where I'm just hitting.
Second episode and the third episode were almost exactly the same.
Right. I get it.
I can't stand the ones, dude, with the business guys like, am I implicated? That storyline is driving me. Because my girlfriend's just watching next to me, and she's just like, "Oh, this is really interesting," and I'm just having like a panic attack. I'm like, "This is my future." At some point, I can see this.
I feel like I'm just sitting there listening to random people talk, and I'm not overtly interested in what they have to say. And
to be fair, that is most TV shows that exist. You're just listening to other people talk.
Sure. But, it's true. That was stupid. I'm an asshole.
You are a stupid asshole.
That's exactly what he is.
But at least watching these people talk, I'm bored to tears. I really am. And I know that there's this shooting going along, so now I just want stuff to build up to this shooting.
Yeah, it just sends. The first episode I get, but 2 and 3 were just the same. Where it's like, hey, here's like their dysfunctions, and we're just going to point them out more and more and more, and just kind of like we get it.
Especially since it's year 3 of this show and it's the same structure. Here are a boat full of, vacationers.
Dysfunctional idiots.
That are on vacation, and you're going to get to know them, and they all suck. And then there's a murder, and it involves them somehow, shape, or form, and we'll tie it all up. Like, okay, fine. So now we just have another boat of people.
I've never watched any of their seasons before. I'm actually due to do that.
You've never seen the other seasons?
I've never seen it. My girlfriend was like, I love this show. We're jumping right in. And I was like, okay, it's an anthology. I think I can pick up on it pretty quick.
Yeah, I dug 1. I wasn't a super fan of 2. I actually might not have even finished 2.
Is 2, because I don't remember it. So it sounds like 1's the good one, 2's the man one. Because I always hear that there's some review that everyone will give me where 1 was awesome. One of the 2 seasons was awesome, and I don't know which
one was good. One was good.
That was good. Okay. Is that the one with Alexander Daddario?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. So, winning.
Got to do a little bit of research this weekend, then, oh boy.
I think it was Sydney Sweeney in the first season.
Oh
too.
My God, a 2-for-1 special.
I think she might have. She might have. But yeah, the second season was Chris Imperioli, right? Who played, it was Michael Imperioli who played Christopher Montalsanti on The Sopranos. So he was in it. There was other people too. Yeah, Coolidge was in it again. But regardless, whatever. So I like it. I needed to pick up. I really do. Because I haven't got to the 3 girls who were friends who just backstab each other the whole time. Like, I'm done. I don't care.
I mean, to be fair, it is kind of funny because I'm just like, these women are probably like in their, 50s, maybe early 60s. And they're behaving exactly like all the girls I knew in college. Just every sorority.
That part is good. That they are, it's all girls, right? And you can't.
Exactly, yeah.
And
it's just funny.
If you know of girls, I have a theory that you can never put girls in 3s. They always have to be evenly split.
Well, that's because 2 of them are going to walk off to talk shit about the other 6 or the other one.
Right. So you need even numbers. So they have to do 2s, 4s, 6, 8s. When you get into 3, it's no good because 2 eventually will just talk shit about the 1, or they'll keep breaking off and the whole thing will just split. Same thing with the 5, right? There's always a 3 versus 2. Somebody's getting left out. So you got to do it in
I
even
saw
numbers.
that Cassandra was wearing jeggings. Oh Did she realize Brad's not around anymore? It's just a lot of that. That is their storyline, but for some reason, I'm digging it.
In their jeans, girls are just catty.
I'm just waiting for them to blow up.
Sexist, maybe. I don't care. It's true.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting for that exploit. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. The one where like the guy who's the business who did money laundering and his drug-addled wife, who I think is like Hey, who's gonna die first? Behind door number 1, you have drug-addled wife who's like, well, what I think is
Yeah.
she's done, right? Like,
Well,
there's no
you know who that is, right? I forgot the actress's name,
I
but
forget her name too, but I like recognize her every time I see her.
she is the mean bitch from Dazed and Confused. Fry like bacon, you little piggies. You know, the girls are all shaking on the ground. You know,
Yeah.
I forgot her name in Dazed and Confused, but she was a bitch. Parker, something Parker.
Sounds right to me. Yeah. They have all these
forget,
actors
but-
that I recognize, and that's about it.
It's funny when I watch her because I just imagine that she is the same girl from Dazed and Confused, but now she's older with kids. So
Well, one of the 3 women was the love interest for Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, where she's like, kids, get down here. We need it. I'll slave for hours over this meal. It's a bunch of Taco Bell,
Oh,
and
really?
Burger King, and Pizza Hut. Yeah, it's one of the 3 women. I'm just like,
no,
hey,
another
what's
fun
going on?
fact. Let me see if I can figure out what. Parker Posey. That was it. Parker Posey. She's the girl that I was talking about who was in Dazed and Confused previously. But another little fun fact, the girl with the fucking horse teeth, those are her real fucking teeth.
Horse teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, the girl that Wallen Goggins is in a relationship with.
Yeah. The young.
Oh yeah, I figured. Yeah, the British one.
The British girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure they were fake. I thought they were dentures that she was wearing
That's
the
funny.
fake teeth. And then it turned out I Googled it. I'm like, they got to be fake. And then it's like her real teeth. And she's like, yeah, I could never be in American movies. I'd have to change my teeth. I'm like, oh shit, those are some chompers, man. She looks
I
like
would say just
she looks like a
just looks
fucking
very-
rabbit.
okay,
Feed her a
just looks
goddamn
like-
carrot.
It just looks very British. It's just that British look, dude, that I just associated with. Where I'm like, yep, from England. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
To be
blame.
fair-
I do blame my bad teeth on my English heritage now that I know that I have some in me.
Mhm.
I never knew I
Oh,
had any
crikey,
English in me.
right?
Yeah.
that's
And now I'm like,
Australian.
no, I
yeah,
got
what-
shitty teeth because I'm English. Now,
funny when you realize the Australian accent is literally just like the worst version of the English accent because they took all their criminals and ne'er-do-wells, threw them over to the other opposite side of the world, and they've just been speaking the language so badly it became its own accent.
which accent is that?
The Australian accent.
Oh yeah, the Australian accent is a funky fucking
Yeah. Hey,
Australian.
crikey. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple of Australians that were involved in our operation, and whenever you heard them talk, it was just like, holy shit, man! It really
Good
is funny
day.
to listen. It's funny to hear you guys talk.
Good day there, Rich. Hope you're having a good time there
It's like, what do
on
you,
your side of the river.
how do you talk like
Well,
that?
what we're doing today, our only main export is a blue dog show that's around the world.
What floors me is when people with because people with English accents can get rid of them. People with Australian accents can get rid of them. Like American people have to learn how to do the accents, and for some reason, it's like a damn near impossibility, right? So
It's easy.
I
It's
wonder.
me.
It's true, but you know how many actors have failed trying to put on these fake accents?
I mean, it's funny when they do it, though.
It is. It's fantastic, right? Because then you get content to make fun of.
Well, sometimes they got to make sure they sound really American, so they do their best John Wayne. And
But
then
when
that's,
they're right, when they're talking like that and they sound and an Australian person sounds Australian, do you think they notice it? Especially when they learn how to speak
I
perfect
think it's
English.
just they listen to the American accent, which God knows how that sounds to them, and they're just like,
Good day. This is what a real voice sounds like I'm munching on a kangaroo, slowly but surely, very sinewy.
What is the American accent? It's just devoid of
there's so
anything,
many,
right?
There's so many American accents. You got your
Well,
Brooklyn
yeah, there
accent,
is. There's Brooklyn, Chicago, Minnesota. I mean, there's
Carolina. I am implicated.
yeah. And I guess like the neutral American accent, which really is just neutral.
Is there like a neutral? I mean, there's the New York. I think we just both have like the Northeast accent, and we just don't even comprehend it because we're just so like entrenched in it.
I would say if you turn on any evening news, the lack of accent in any of those broadcaster voices, that's the American voice to me.
Oh, when they like just completely purge all identity and go for as robotic as possible. And tonight on tonight's evening news, you're going to see the traffic signals going on this way.
Bingo, that's the one. I have a master's in broadcast journalism, and I learned to try to be a talking head. Not that I wanted to do that. I wanted to do sports, but you learn how to do it in the program.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two girls, or maybe two or three
One
girls,
cut.
that
it was right there.
Well done.
Nice.
So these two girls in one cup, they ended up actually becoming. They became broadcasters. They became news anchors. And when I saw them, like their actual professional live shows, when I found them on the internet, dude, it was amazing how what they used to sound like was gone, and they just sound like every other news anchor ever. Mm-hmm. They all just learned how to do the voice.
I imagine there's like vocal training or something where you learn to just purge your identity while you're doing it. It's like, no, forget everything you know about speaking. This is what you're doing from now on as you read it.
And a lot of it is talking slow and dropping extra bass into your voice. So you're talking
tonight's top story. Tonight's top story, there was a plane crash over the Asian Ocean where the captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ba Ding Ao, and Hu Li.
Kyle, you said my uncle's name, Sum Ting Wong. You want me to eat the cuttlefish, Kyle?
I love that they did that out loud. Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo.
I mean, they got it across. There was,
we go to Reddit for our first page news.
Opie and Anthony used to have their fans obliterate news people with all kinds of like hidden names and subliminal names. And, I don't think the Something Wong one was that, but they hit them up with just like characters from the show. And it was very funny. They used to do it quite a bit. But yeah, and news people are so stupid, they just let it go through. They're all like,
at that point, you just purge all identity. You're just like, no, this is not on me. This is on the news station. I'm going to read whatever is in front of me. It's like Jimmy Fallon. Like he's just foregone having a personal identity just to be that guy that just casually laughs so he can never be canceled.
Right. And he does it a lot.
He does it a lot. He's been very good. Yeah, he has really gotten good at hiding himself at the bottom of that bottle.
Yeah, I mean, everybody says that he's just a crazy, insane drunk, and I do not doubt it.
Yes, 100%. Right behind all those little pieces on his set, there's just a couple different shot glasses just raring to go.
Kudos to him, because I thought he was a good SNL character, not a great one, but somehow they tried to push him into movies. It didn't work out.
Did not work at all.
He fucking pivoted and became the new Johnny Carson. It's crazy.
But it's crazy because he doesn't have any of the talent of Johnny Carson.
None.
Like, he is not, I don't think Jimmy Fallon is going to be, like, he'll be remembered as the host of the Tonight Show, but the Tonight Show is also probably going to die under his watch.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Carson, on top of being a good interviewer, part of Johnny Carson's charm was that he was like a super cool hang. Like, everybody wanted to hang with him. He was like a legendary, like, cool guy. He had, not only but,
Well, you hang out with Jimmy Fallon, you're going to wake up under a bridge somewhere, dude. You're just drunk with him having sex with a bat or something like that. Who knows?
But he's just like, I feel like he's a sloppy party guy.
Yes.
Right? Sloppy, cocaine, booze.
He's the friend, dude, that you see starting to get fucked up. And at first you're like, oh, look at Jimmy go. And then, like, 5 minutes, you're like, dude, what the hell happened to Jimmy? Like, someone's got to, like, take care of this. And then he pisses you off a little too much. And you're like, you know what? I was going to make sure you get home okay. You're on your own, pal. Good luck.
Right.
You take $5 out of his wallet just so you can get an Uber easier. Yeah.
Right. As they say today, Johnny Carson had, like, insane riz. right? His Riz was off the charts.
Ew for that verbiage.
Yeah,
Ew,
I know.
Rich thinks
But that's
he's
what it
young.
is.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, no cap.
He's not cool like me. I'm young and hip. Yeah, I'm 22, definitely.
Crazy Riz, no cap. So when you talk about Fallon, though, it's yeah, mid, no cap. Yeah, I'm throwing all of it into my lexicon. But fucking Fallon, just a mess, Now I don't know. It's too late. Did you watch SNL and Gillis?
I watched bits. I don't watch the whole thing. I just watched the intro, which I thought was okay. It was not as strong as the first one. He still seemed kind of nervous. But some of the bits were fun.
So, well, I will. Let's see how long it is, and if it's like under 6 minutes, we'll end it with that.
I think it was a little longer than that. Yeah.
Do you know the one that I'm talking about, though? Not his monologue.
Are you doing the bunch of beers? That one?
Oh no. Although I thought a couple of beers was good.
Couple of beers was good.
That was not. There was one. Hold on a second.
The little kids show, the one where he's like, Dad's house. That was funny.
No, that was fine, but.
That one went on too long. I feel like it could have been better. The beginning of it was really funny.
Yeah, no, the
he
also had the winner.
What you did last night with your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was going to be more jokes with that one. The wedding interruption was okay, but then it just got to be a little long on the tooth. That was when everybody had a gift card. That was a handwritten gift card, a promissory note from the wife, well, from the bride to be. And Gillis tries to call it out in the end. No, this is the one, and this one was just phenomenal. It's a good place to stop because it is built around a faux midday news set. So there's 4 people.
I saw this one. I have not watched it yet. Yes, this is fresh.
Yeah, let's see. So there's 4 people that are sitting around the news desk doing like a 12 o'clock news deal. So.
And welcome back. You're watching WANU Midday News.
Very good sketch.
In just a bit, we'll have more on that incoming winter snowstorm.
Get ready to bundle up, folks. But first, the latest on what's happening over in Westlake.
Oh, so sad. Community members remain rattled after yet another gang-related drive-by shooting that took place in the 4,000 block of Reisterstown Road late last night. The shooting is believed to be in connection to last week's string of violence in the same area.
After questioning witnesses and reviewing nearby surveillance footage, police have identified the suspects and located the 2018 Dodge Charger used in last night's crime. The suspects are believed to be 4 white...
Yes! No, that's right.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, just relieved that the police have white identified the suspects.
Exactly.
Obviously, the black anchors are excited.
Okay. Crime is crime, and we're all relieved.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, it's shaping up to be quite a busy week for local law enforcement as police deliver on their promise to crack down on the increasing drug traffic.
Uh-oh.
Not drugs.
A raid early this morning uncovered a major meth ring.
Okay, we're good.
In a quiet suburban neighborhood.
Now, you know.
Know what?
That they ain't one of us.
That's a watch one here.
Well, how do you know that?
Meth, quiet. Come on now.
All right, let's see the picture.
Why are you entertaining this stupid game?
Because we're down 2-0, Suzanne. You want to lose? Show the picture.
Lose what? Police say they are still on the lookout for this man.
Breaking bad looking ass.
I'm getting like every other word now, but yeah.
Oh, you can't hear it?
I want to get every other word right now.
Looters, huh? You hear that? These looters were spotted after wildfires devastated homes in Hunt Valley Township. Looters.
Okay, just read the story.
That's enough.
Looks like they stole televisions, bikes. Who do you think that was? What color do you think that was?
Good job, Dale.
All right. Police are on the lookout for the alleged ringleader, a local man named Ethan Kapowski. Damn it.
Okay.
That's 3-0. We in your ass.
All right, this is childish. It's time to take a moment to hear from our eye in the sky, Sheldon Holmes, with the latest on traffic.
Thank
Thanks, Suzanne. As usual, we've got a bit of a lunch hour bottleneck situation heading east on Route 30. And speaking of 3-0, get your rooms ready, because it's looking like a sweep, y'all.
No, it says black or white 3.
Fine.
Black
Let's
nothing.
see about this one. Mayhem at the barber shop.
Oh, damn.
No.
After a customer was shot
Oh, Lord.
during an argument over Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah, that's us.
All right.
Yeah, that's us. Okay, 3-1. 3-1.
Yeah, you guys sure you don't want to see a picture?
Okay, shut up. We still in the lead. How about this? Violence erupted in the parking lot of a concert
I like where this is going.
where Shabuzi was performing.
Who the heck is Shabuzi?
He's a genius, but this sounds like us.
So, and it keeps going on and on and on. And
Yeah.
so, and they just keep riffing, going back and forth. But going back and forth, going back
I was
and
gonna
forth.
say I was hoping that was on purpose. There, that was pretty good.
It was not, but it was very funny in the sense that I don't think that SNL does racial comedy that well. I think they did back in the day, but they kind of lost like whatever edge they used to have.
I think you're right, dude. I think it's down to the writers, and it's just there's a
Really
lot
is.
of them.
And that
I mean, some of them are okay. Like some of those, like the new Lonely Island crew they have are fine. There's a couple of those
fine.
bits I've seen. Yeah, there's a couple bits. There's one about like looking at your Instagram Explore page that they did that was really funny.
I don't think I saw that one.
I'll send it to you later. It was pretty solid, but like, you know, I think you're right. It's just they have a lot of the D tier writers at this point because all the good ones are kind of somewhere else, and it's just such a storied name at this point, along with like more money than God because they're this institution
Right. And
that they're going to be around for some time.
But for whatever reason, I definitely think that the hosts that can write have the ability to write on these shows. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's, but
%.
you know, it doesn't make sense to me that when the comedians that can write aren't there, the shows end up being shittier. And then all of a sudden you do get, you know, Brigettes and Gillis and, you know, Burr and, you know, whoever, right? You know, Chappelle, and all of a sudden the sketches are better. It's like, oh, all right. Well, one and one make two, right? So, but anyway, let's punch out because it is getting a little late, and we will look to continue on another White Lotus set for next week.
Or whatever other shows come along.
Along with a ton of other shows. I've been crunching content, but I just don't think it's been lined up with the stuff that you have. You know, Marvel's come out with another one, and this one's supposed to be good. It is the new
Daredevil, right? Yeah, the first version of that show is awesome.
So supposedly it's actually good. So we'll have to see if we can crank out those episodes. And we will rally again and reconvene next week. So till then, all the best. Will, take care. I will talk to you, obviously, through the intranets. And then we will talk to you all next week. Audi. Peace.
9,000.
See you later. 9,000. Yes. Audi 9,000.